I finally quit porn at 19 after a 6-year addiction. But throughout them 6 years, I tried to quit porn 100 times, 200 times. Each time I'd get onto NoFap. I'd get 3 days in, then fail every single time. 3 days if I was lucky. Sometimes I'd last a day, 6 hours, 2 days, whatever, right? I'd just keep on failing on NoFap. Each time I'd relapse, felt like a failure. I hated myself and it ruined me. And I just gave up, to be honest, most of the time. Brings me to step number 1. Get off NoFap. Forget about the streak. It's bullshit, right? It doesn't help you quit porn. There's no magic number, day 90 of NoFap that you get to where you're like, okay, I can start levitating now. Quitting porn's got it's bullshit. Them videos get the most views. That's why they make it online. But it doesn't actually help the problem. So who gives a shit if it gets views? I don't care if this video gets 10 views. If it helps one person quit, cool. That's what I want. If it gets 1 million views and it helps 0 people quit, then what the fuck's the point, right? NoFap does not work because when you're addicted to porn, you're watching it every day, right? Like if you were me, you're watching it 3 times a day for a period of time, right? Point is, I was completely addicted. It was part of my daily routine to watch porn. Wake up, eat, do this, do that. Oh, it's 10 p.m. before bed, watch porn, right? That was just normal. My body would literally get myself ready to watch porn at that time because I'd done it that much. To go from that to the complete next day being like, right, NoFap, no more porn, discipline, David Goggins, never watching porn again, is stupid. I've gone from one extreme to the other, completely addicted, to never watching it again, right? I go from watching it 3 times a day to 0. That's why it doesn't work. How can you expect to sustain that? Porn is not something you can quit cold turkey, especially if you had an addiction for years. 5, 10, 20 years, you expect to just quit like that? Quit porn in 2 weeks? It's all a scam. You're not doing that, right? If a fat lady's trying to lose some weight, right? She's going to starve herself because she thinks that's the way. But in 6 hours, she'll be so hungry, so depressed that she can't eat anything, that she'll just eat a cake. She'll just give up. But if in the first place, she had a diet that she could stick to, eating healthy, but there's some chocolate here and there, then she's staying with that, right? But she can't because she's gone too fast. She's trying to lose the weight in 2 weeks. You're trying to quit porn in 2 weeks. Doesn't work. And when you relapse and feel like a failure, this only happens when you're on NoFap, right? Because when you're using my system, if you relapse, that's fine. That's part of the process. On NoFap, if you relapse, you genuinely failed. That's what they tell you because you're trying to get to day 30 of NoFap. You're trying to get a streak. If you get to day 21, you're 9 days short of day 30 and you relapse, you don't stay on day 21. You go back to 0. So what does that tell your brain? It tells your brain that, fucking hell, mate, that's it. You failed. Your progress is gone. Those 3 weeks of not watching porn, yep, means nothing now because you relapsed once. You feel like shit, so you relapse again, you give up. That's why NoFap doesn't work. It's shit. Never get onto that again. Forget your streak. Quickly, by the way, if you like my advice, if you're starting to trust me, no pressure, but link below is my porn quitting course. Check it out, you might be interested. So what do we actually do? We're not on NoFap. Get onto my system, like I mentioned before, called LessFap, and it's how it sounds. This week, I want you to fap less than you did last week. Don't go to 0, because we just explained how stupid that is. Just do it less. I don't care how much you watched porn last week. 30 times, we'll say. It's a bit extreme, but I don't know, maybe watching it 5 times a day. 30 times last week. Watch it 28 times this week. Why not? 25 next week. 23 the week after that. Keep going down. The amount you watch porn should look like this on a graph. Just gradually going down. Shouldn't look like this, straight down, because you know what happens? It goes straight back up. Okay? Just gradually reduce it. Now your brain might be thinking, hang about, that's going to take months to quit. First of all, yes it is, because it's taken years to be addicted. Second of all, why are you still listening to your brain? Your brain is the reason you've been addicted to porn all this time. It's the reason you've not got a 6-pack, not got the girl you want, not got the money you want. Your brain makes your decisions and it's made you addicted to porn. So turn your brain off, stop listening to it. Until you've quit porn, don't trust your brain. So yeah, it's going to take a few months, but if you want to stay on NoFap, literally I'll see you in a year and you'll still be more addicted, right? You get onto my system and some of my clients have quit in 2 months. They've been trying to quit porn for years. They've got onto LessFap and they've quit within 2 months. They went from watching porn 2 times a day to once a week within 2-3 months, just by doing LessFap. It works so well because you still watch porn, you're just doing it a bit less. So you're not just completely depriving yourself of that. Number two, you're getting benefits each week because the less you watch porn, the more benefits you get. So you watch porn 5% less, you get 5% more confident, 5% more testosterone, 5% less anxious, you get the point. Now you've been sold a lie that you only get benefits from quitting porn if you go 90 days without it. It's bullshit. You get benefits from quitting porn, just the less you watch porn, right? If the fat lady, if she took out one of her unhealthy meals, right, and put a healthy meal there, she's still eating 2 unhealthy meals, but she's got 1 unhealthy meal, right? She's going to lose some weight. She's not completely got rid of all the junk food, but she's still getting benefits, right? You don't have to completely cut out the junk food to get any benefits of weight loss. You don't have to completely cut out porn to get any benefits from it. So the less you watch porn, the more benefits you get. Finally, after all these years, you're making progress towards quitting porn. When you experience that in week 1, week 2, you feel great. You don't want to give up, and you keep going. That's why NoFap works so well. You can quit porn, get benefits, make progress while still watching porn at the same time. It's just easy to quit. And once you're at the point, which you will get to, of watching it once a week, right? At that point, it's not an addiction. Don't worry about it. It's going to cause more harm to yourself to worry about it. Just be like, ideally go to 0. That's what I tell my clients. But if you want to stay at 1 a week, it's better than 3 times a day, right? That is how you actually quit. Now, the last tip I'm going to give you is something that's just going to help you stay on NoFap, help you have a better life, improve your mental health. You've heard it before. Oh, here we go again. Truly, who watches porn? Is it the social, happy, confident guy? Or is it the sad, lonely, depressed guy? Obviously this guy, right? You watch porn because you're sad, you're lonely, or you're depressed, all right? Because when you're sad, you need to feel not sad because it's not nice. So you turn to something easy, video games, junk food, or porn. Because in the split-second moment, you feel pretty good watching it. 5 minutes later, you feel like shit, but in the moment, you feel good, so you watch it. Or if you're bored, it's the same thing. You want to feel not bored because it's boring, right? So you watch porn. What if you were already happy? You weren't bored. You were fulfilled. You had goals. You had shit to do. You wouldn't have time to be worrying, to be bored or sad and turn to porn because you're already happy. So improve your mental health and watch porn go away. The first thing for mental health, gratitude journal. Just write it down each day, even do it in your head. One thing you're grateful for, one thing you have that other people don't, things you take for granted, and just write it down or think about it. The fact that you can hear, you're not deaf. Imagine if you were deaf, you woke up, you were deaf, you woke up, you were blind, you had 1 arm, like things we take for granted that some people have to live with. So think about that. That's just going to make you a happier and more grateful person. There was a study that showed when you're grateful, it's impossible to be anxious. So try it and just be a less anxious and more happy person. Therefore, the need for porn goes down. Second thing, meditation. You've heard it before, right? Meditation, just breathe in, breathe out, focus on your breath as hard as you can. Throughout this, you're going to get random thoughts about something else. That does not mean you failed. That's the point. You focus on the breath, you get a random thought. Then you bring your attention back to the breath. Half a second later, you might get another thought. That's fine. Attention back to the breath. What meditation does is forces you to be present, to be mindful, and in the present moment. So there's no thoughts in your head because you're present. You're not thinking about the future or the past. You are present, meaning you can't be anxious or depressed because there's no thoughts in your brain, right? You're only anxious or depressed when you got thoughts in your brain. You're not good enough, you look weird, you're this, you're that. When you meditate enough, you don't get any of them thoughts. You just don't give a shit. Exercise, right? You're a human, just exercise 7 days a week. I'd recommend weightlifting. If you want to walk, that's fine, it's better than nothing. Push-ups, squats, skipping, running, whatever, just exercise. That is how you be a happier human being. And arguably the main one, right? Set goals and work towards them. This just prevents you from having a shit life. Because when you have no goals, like if you just mindlessly going to college, university, you're just going to get a random job. Are you going to like that job? No, because you've not set a goal to get that job, right? You want to be rich. Everyone does, right? How are you going to be rich when you don't have any goals to get rich? You don't have a plan. So when you think of your future, you think, oh, great, I'll have a 9 to 5, an average house, average wife, average kids, average physique, I'll be fat, I'll still be watching porn. It's a shit life. So when you think of that, you're going to get sad. When you're sad, you watch porn. Instead, if you set goals, you actually have something to do throughout your day. You'll have better days. You'll have a better future. So then when you think of your future, when you wake up in the morning, you'll be happier. When we're happy, we don't watch porn. Okay, so just for your mental health, set goals, that's your number one thing. Exercise, and then just be more grateful. Meditate, even for 30 seconds a day. Watch this video back, just do all them things. Combine that with less fap. Forget the shitty NoFap streak, forget NoFap, it's garbage. You'll quit porn faster than any advice on the internet, because this is exactly what I did. Exactly what helped me. It will help you. Hope this helped. Subscribe if you did, and goodbye. By the way, no pressure, but the link under this video is my paid porn quitting course. When you feel like you trust me enough, and if you feel like my free advice has helped you change your life in any way, check that out right now.